Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Tatiana and this week we will be redesigning a school club logo for my sister. For more videos like this centered around art, mindset, and starting a new business, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already. So the original logo for this Bull City Scholars Club is the one on the top left, and this club is centered around mentoring elementary school students. So this is not a paid client, this is just something I'm doing for fun for my sister, and I kind of just wanted to exercise my design skills. So the image that we have in the middle of the bull is one that my sister really liked that I'm using for inspiration. She liked the aesthetic of it, so I'm going with it. The colors that we saw on the right were the ones that she wants me to include in the logo, so I have those there to reference. Now for each logo, you're going to see me make a vertical version of it as well as a horizontal version of it, just because it's very important for a logo to be versatile. You never know in what format your client's going to need it in and when, so it's always great to give them both. Now this particular logo is probably one of my favorites that I made, just because of how abstract it is. Essentially, I was able to include the letters B, C, and S, which kind of stand for Bull City Scholar, and turn it into the body of a bull. So I added the bulls by adding the horns, and it created a very simple design that I liked. It's an abstract version of a bull, and it was very minimalist in my opinion, so I think that one was my favorite. I added different variations of it, so this one I added a rectangle around it just to give it a different feel, and I also went ahead and added a vertical version of it. Now another idea I had for this logo was to use an office building basically to represent the city and turn it into a horn. So that's what you see me doing here, and then I kind of made the reverse of that in the next logo that I designed, and basically you used an office building and then kind of turned that into a bull by adding horns. It's a bit of a stretch though. One thing I should note though is if this were a paid client, I would not be giving them so many options to choose from, just because it can be very overwhelming for them and it makes it more difficult for them to choose. But since this is for my sister, I just figured I'd give her options because why not? Now here I figured out how to use the pen tool to create a ribbon kind of look to the horn. I'm still kind of new to Illustrator, so this kind of took me a little bit to figure out. So yeah, it's a bit rough, but at the same time, I'm only using this to put the concept down, and later once we actually choose what design we want to continue with, I'll go back and like polish it up. So I wanted to add a variation of their current logo, and that's why I'm using their hands, or the hand sign that they use. And since this is a mentoring club, I thought it'd be really neat to basically have a small hand and then a larger hand put together to create that same sign. Yeah, you know, the hand's not the prettiest, but like I said, we're just doing this to get the concept down. So I made the vertical version of it as well as the horizontal version, and then I went and did another one that I thought would be kind of fun by adding the words in the palm of the hand, but looking at it now, it kind of looks more like a sticker than an actual logo, so that one is probably not going to work. So in order to show these designs to my sister, I decided to group similarly designed logos onto one page for her to look at them individually and go from there. So these are all the layouts that I originally created on one page. So after talking about it with her, we kind of narrowed it down to two different design groups, and here I'm just fixing one of them up by creating a stronger stroke just so that the red and the yellow were more visible, and it was just clear that it was a ribbon of some sort and not just some random lines. I also added it to the horizontal version because that was lacking. I didn't want to do extra work if I didn't need to. But here you can see that we added some extra stuff to the second design. We added that rectangle and other colors because she wanted to make sure it was colorful. However, I wasn't a big fan of that block coloring, so I went back and redesigned it in a similar, cleaner form, I guess. So that's the bottom one that you see there. I went back to the other one, and again I started polishing it up. I thought it was too busy, so we deleted some of the rings or some of the ribbons around the horns. So these were the final 2 groups of designs that she went to talk to her club members about, and ultimately we went with the ones on the left. So again, here I'm just polishing it up, making it look more professional, making it look cleaner, and going from there. So I kind of went through this one pretty quickly just because I ended up scrapping out the idea, but again, going with the whole like versatility idea, I wanted to see what the logo would look like if it had to be all in one color, but doing so didn't work out because I don't know, it's really hard to tell that that's a ribbon in that manner. So I deleted it and I figured out a better way to do it. Basically, I just had to outline each of the strokes and delete what was inside of it using the shape builder tool. And this way the interior of it, or like the ribbon, was transparent and it would be the color of whatever background it is placed on. I thought this way it would still be using only one color and it was much cleaner and clearer as to what was going on here. Here I wanted to make 2 different versions of it, basically centered around the script of scholars. The one on the left we have more of a cursive script, and then the one on the right we have just like your standard font, I guess. But these are the 2 final designs that we came up with. Basically, they have to decide now between the 2 groups of what they want, but let me know in the comments below which group of designs you like better, the one on the left or the one on the right. So that basically sums up my logo design process. Again, I'm no expert, I'm still learning, but it's a fun exercise to get better. Also, next week I will be talking about how to choose your major when you're kind of indecisive or unsure of what path to follow. I know that was something I struggled with, so if you don't want to miss that, make sure to subscribe to my channel and to hit the notification bell so you don't miss when it comes out. As always, if you like the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I can't wait to see you next time. Bye!